There were only 5 entries in that year. There were 8 last year in Strathclyde, and only 6 this time, which means we have a straight final. In lane number 1, it's the British pair of Melinda Myers and Carolyn Hobson. Chris will be looking for that experience to help her through this race. So a very quick start there from the Germans. They go off very smartly together with the Australians, Dan.
Yep, those two out in front there. But Germany beginning to move a little bit over towards the American crew in lane 4 and getting warmed really quite quickly. You can see there they've moved right over to that side of the lane. And see if we can pick up what it was that went wrong there, but their steering was off right off the start there in those first 10 or 15 strokes. But they did take it off fast. And they in Australia certainly the lead-off crews, with Great Britain there on lane 1 out there as well.
And that steering mistake, whilst we were away looking at the replay, has cost Germany quite dearly, and it's the United States now who are up with Australia, and it's those two crews, the United States on top, Australia beneath you in the green and gold, who are just about, I would say, in the lead at the moment. This is Eliza Blair and Justine Joyce. Justine, the sister of Rebecca Joyce, who a couple of years ago won the lightweight single sculls title for Australia. And the Australians now really applying the pressure, and they and the Americans have gone well clear, with perhaps, Dan, the British in just about 3rd place at the moment. But that's a powerful start by both the Americans and the Australians.
Yes, the Australian pair looks very, very good. I mean, they're hitting this 500-metre mark here, about a quarter of a length up on the United States. They look very, very competent, very sure of themselves, and they're hitting a very nice stride now. Quite high rating, moving very fluently.
And incredibly, the Chinese and the French have effectively been dismissed within the first quarter of the race.
Yes, dropped right back, and Germany, after that very good start, have dropped right back, completely thrown by their bad steering. May well be that something went wrong with their steering, because they're very much in the background there now, 9 seconds down on the leaders. But this is the lead pair. Australia, good reach, good leg drive, and being chased at the moment by the United States.
Well, I wonder what Linda Murray, who took gold medals in the lightweight 4 for America, can do about this. Meanwhile, this is the German problem.
Yes, their steering is completely gone. They're having a real struggle back there. Something went wrong with their steering right off the start. Australia looking quite composed here now. Very solid, quite high rating, easily geared, just moving it along very comfortably, keeping the boat up on top and running.
This title in Scotland was won by the United States. The Australian partnership in picture now finished 5th and have a real chance now of doing a whole lot better than that. Their closest pursuers in picture now, Linda Murray and Michelle Bourkus. Michelle, 10 years junior to Linda.
But Linda picking it up very nicely. She's in a very strong position at the front end there. Picks it up well close to the water, collects it with the legs, powers it through past the middle of the stroke with a good, strong draw at the finish. It's good movement there, boat running well.
So Australia in command, America in 2nd place. Let's have a look at the battle for the bronze medal.
Well, that launch on the outside there that's following the two leaders are beginning to wash down the crews at the back here. You can see the wake there. It's beginning to catch the crews behind. China and Germany right out of the picture. But these two here now really going to fight this race out between the two of them. They've opened up a big, big lead on the rest of the field.
And leading the chase, although it's a very distant one, Great Britain, who just managed to avoid the wash by moving fast enough. But Britain at the moment solidly in 3rd place, with a big gap, as you can see there, a couple of seconds clear of France, Germany way back, China, well, they're in the distance.
The United States, the only crew here who can challenge Australia. They're about a second down, half a length down, and trying to move on now as they go through the 1250 meters. But you can see the distance there back to France, who are in 4th place. Ooh, four lengths now, 4, even 5 lengths. France not really in this race at all, trying to get back on terms with Great Britain, a length down on Great Britain. There's Laurence Bernard and Sylvie Chevalier trying to get back on terms with Great Britain for the bronze medal. But the two the gold and silver medals between this crew, Australia, and the United States, who are well in front of the rest of the field.
And the rest headed by Great Britain, but at the moment it looks a race which Australia are going to succeed in. Here are the British, Melindy Myers in the bow, Rose for University of London, and a partner, Caroline Hobson from Thames Tradesman. And interesting enough, they finished second and third in two different boats at Lucerne, but were plucked out of the two boats and put together. The Australians and the Americans through the 1500-metre mark, and you can see the sort of advantage they have over the British. At the moment, the Australians looking very good. There, the British going through, and they are well clear of the French. There, the French going through at the moment, and no sign of the Chinese or the Germans.
But Australia looking very good for this gold medal. The British 7 seconds down there at 1500 metres, 7 seconds down on the leaders. Australia clear, riding right close to those buoys, getting caught a little bit on the buoys, steering now back onto their lane. Great Britain beginning to wind it up, trying to close the gap there for the silver medal, trying to close the gap on the United States.
There, the United States fourth from the right, as we take a close-up look at the Australians, and they've been in command, Dan, pretty well right from the beginning.
Yeah, it's closing up a little bit here, but they're well in charge of it.
I suppose it's fair to say there's no such thing as an easy race, but this probably is as easy as it'll come.
Oh, indeed. I mean, they're well clear. They've got a good survey of the whole field there. No one's going to catch them. Well back to the United States. The United States now can see that the British are winding it up. They're having to fight them off a little bit, because the British are closing it really quite quickly. They've wound it up. The rate's right up now, and they're closing the gap, but it's still far too much to do. They're going to be third. They're going to come in with the bronze medal. United States closing a little bit there on Australia. It's Australia being closed down by the United States, but they're clear by 3/4 of a length.
As they come to the line now, Australia to take the gold in the women's lightweight pairs ahead of America, and the British certainly the fastest finishers in the final quarter. In fact, their time 1:48.75, so they really made some progress, but they really didn't threaten the Americans or indeed the Australians.
So maybe that's where we'll see them over the next couple of years. But that was a very good performance, and they're very pleased with that gold medal.
Michael Williams, the treasurer of FISA, to do the honours for Eliza Blair and Justine Joyce.